Well, my intentions were good there. I just bought the Rip-Cut jig for your circular saw from Kreg. This is actually the third one that I bought from here. I bought one, and I think that I got a bunch of stain all over it. Didn't want to clean it up. Bought a second one. Left it in an old van that I just kind of gave up over time. Not really sure what happened to that one. Oh, and this is the fourth one I bought. Third one I bought. My kid took out the little screws, and this is still when it was all silver, right? And now we're on to what I would assume is only version 2 of the Dang-a-Dang-Dang. And here we are. So I'm gonna unbox this, see how it goes. You know what I don't have though? It's on the job site right now. Circular saw, but it's nothing to write home about, guys. If you want to know what it is, it's the Fancy Pants Ryobi one. But I'm left-handed, so the blade is on the right side. At the time when I bought it, that's all that matters. And I think I paid 90 or maybe 100. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was 60. Let's get this open. All right. Let's go. Flip up the back like a pack of batteries. There we go. All right, we are presented with Dang-a-Dang-Dang and this Dang-a-Dang-Dang. Bag-a-dang-dangs. A 1 and a 2. Dang-a-dang-dangs. And this, which is the guide for the side here, side guide. And a little pack of screws and dang-a-dang-dangs. And that's it. Dang it, we're gonna have to read the stupid things. Kreg Rip-Cut, page 1. No, page 8. Got it. So the pack with all the 3D printed parts ends up being the screw-on parts. All the hardware is in its own package over yonder. There's a pack of a lot of stuff here. So apparently there's 2 self-tapping screws. We're gonna look for those. And very unprepared. So it looks like we have 1, 2. These are just other type of screws with Dang-a-dang-dang. We got 4 black screws in here, about 10 washers or 8 washers, and 2 self-tapping screws. So we do have 2 sets of 2 different screws on these bad boys. And neither one of them look like self-tapping. So the 2 different screws we have are boomski woomski, doomski oomski, and doomski oomski. Well, they said screws, so I'm gonna go with the one that says Phillips, because the other one is a bolt in my vernacular. Let's read on. Where's my legend? Piece N. I was right. All right, so now we can do that. Dang-a-dang-dang on a dang-a-dang-dang. Okay, so we take our ruler, measuring thing. I tried to make a BBC joke there, but I couldn't come with an acronym fast enough. And this is an option here. So you'll see here on the Kreg that you have 2 insert points and 2 places for screws. That means you can put this, sorry, you want to see it too probably, on either side. So I could do it for left-handed or right-handed. Because at the end of the day, you would be walking as a right-handed person like this. Let me align it quick so I can do this easier. Your saw is gonna be out here, and you're gonna walk along your board to the side or whatever, you know what I mean? Left-handed, so we're doing it the other way. So yeah, you just align the 2 dots in the holes, kind of fun there. Boom, you've seen it. All right. And then we're gonna take our 2 screws. We know they're screws because they got freaking screw holes. And why? Because you gotta use a screwdriver to put them bad boys in. If you can manage to do that part. You know, if they're going with this black Ness, which I'm totally fine with, hook it up on the screws though, you know? You give me 4 black ones, dude? That's weird. Self-tapping in the sense that they're gonna be digging into this plastic here. Okay. So when I think self-tapping, I look for a void in the screw, you know, that little cavity you might notice on like even a Kreg screw himself. The Kreg screw himself. Yeah, we're good. You know, what I do wish right away is that Kreg would have just allowed 4 screws to be in that instead of these insert points. Like, it's pointless, really. Yeah, this shouldn't be a thing you're throwing around a whole bunch, so watch who you hand it off to, because it's still plastic at the end of the day. And you can look it up. I mean, I'm surprised like Viver hasn't got on board with this yet, because that's a little nuts. Like they stole every other thing in the world, so why are they not doing that yet? Step 2, assemble swivel clamps. So set your BBC aside, and you're gonna need the 2-piecer, identical pieces. They're back to back here. And it says we're gonna go to the other bag of goodies, the 3D printed looking things here. All right. And it says we're gonna start with a piece. They have this piece in the picture. Let's start with F. All right, then you take your little 3D piece, printed piece that looks like that, and one of these square washers here. You slide it right into there, because it fits ever so nicely into that slot. Once you do that, screw you guys, you take your black screw, and that goes in the end where you put, see, this is where the inconsistency comes into play, and it bothers me. You got the silver wash you gave me to put in the black part. You provided the black screw, but then to make the washer black. Okay, so we're gonna put that in just part way threaded, just for now, and do the same thing to the other side with the silver screw. Pissing me off. Take that back. We're gonna take this right out of there. We're gonna keep the washer inside of there. We're gonna grab the letter J. For the first step of putting the thing on, you'll need 4 pieces here. You're gonna need the washer. You're gonna need 5 pieces actually. To attach all the knobs to the side rail piece, you'll need 6 pieces if you include this. You'll need this right here, and it's gonna go standing up, and that actually accepts a washer into the side, like I showed you. And below that, it's gonna take the letter J, little circle, the little one, and you're gonna put that upside down onto the screw, and then put that screw through the washer, and just get it in there for now. Leave it protruding a bit so you can still mess with it later on. There it goes. And it should look like that. And then on the other side, we do the same thing. Grab another little guy here, because you could tell it's the little one, right? Because it's not the big one, right? You can see one's not big and one's little, right? That's how you know. And you, little guy, onto the screw. This is the one that is regular, just flat-headed type. And you're gonna put that through. It sits freely, ace freely. And you're gonna do that 4 times. And then the way these attach here, once you got your little guy in here, you just stick that one side through, and you'll have another square washer that goes underneath there. I'll do that now. I think the good trick right here is just put your finger under the slot, just drop it in any old way, just to ensure that it doesn't come out. Seems to work okay. And then you put your finger in there inside of it from the backside, just to put some pressure on it, because what you're gonna do next is take your exposed silver screw and just allow that to get in there nice and snug. Once you do get it in there pretty good, you're able to use the gray piece as your turning knob, so you don't have to worry about digging it in there so much. There it goes. Get about 2 threads past that washer. It seems to be good for me. And do that 4 more times. 3 more times. Sure. And what you're gonna do is just have your black strip on the opposite side of your black bar going out, because these black bars will, I'm assuming, later on be the things that hold on your circular saw. And this is way better designed from the original model. The original model only had 2 places to clamp, I guess, if you will, or a circular saw to the shoe of the rip guide. So that's why I chose to do this one, although I had nothing but success. I'm serious, it could be down to an 1/8. That's why I'm taking this to a construction site soon, and I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna challenge people, because I've been using this thing for a couple years, and I'm quick with it. So I don't know how they plan to beat me. Because if you're talking about efficiency or precision or able to get good enough results, I think that I can get exceptional results faster and consistently accurate too. Not consistently like close enough. So then once we get all those on there, that's one complete set there. We do that double time, like I said. This part's pretty easy though. I mean, you just, again, you got a little channel on the bottom side of the thing. That's the top, that's the bottom. You have a little channel right there, so you're just setting them bad boys right inside of that. I won't deny it, I'm gonna set it right inside of that, right? No, could have tried better. Sorry about that, Puck. Appreciate it. Again, you can screw it in any old way in the beginning. Just make sure the black is on the opposite side of the black by the time you finish. Get a couple turns. That seems snug enough until snuggaluffagus. This is not the easy way. It's trying to hold that thing in there until you get the washer. Flip it over, put the washer in. Put your finger on the washer. It's kind of standard procedure for some of the stuff you might be doing in the job site anywhere, in the workshop. Putting together, I don't know, some doors or something, I don't know. There's a jig for everything nowadays, you know, that's what I'm saying, like it's hard to beat. I get that, it's cool that you can do the whole tape measure thing and get 13 inches pretty good and go with one hand, but I don't know, man. I haven't seen like exceptional, like something to write home about cuts yet. So maybe just me, but I don't know. This, I know, has made me repeatable cuts over and over again, as Tim McGraw might say. All right, then we're still with them same two pieces that we just were working on, and we'll take our leftover hardware. You should have 2 sets of these 3 items, the big guy, the square washer, and another bolt type deal, and then this rando guy that comes next. So don't worry if you only have one of something. Yeah, everything's fine. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of those pieces we just worked on. You'll see a hole going through the top this time. Sorry, I thought I lost something. Hole going through the top this time. We're gonna just put the screw through, and then we're gonna take it back out because we're gonna realize we forgot something. We're gonna take the screw and then put the big guy on. Make sure the pretty side's facing up. Stick the screw through. Try that again. Put the washer on. You ever heard somebody call it a washer? It always drove me nuts. People talking about washer. The heck you talking about, man? Washer. If you can't get it on, pull some pressure on the knob, the gray thing, until you can get that over there. And then once you do, you should be able to use the knob and tend it. And then just get that washer pretty square to where it needs to be. Again, the washer underneath, I only needed about 2 turns out to get it at sufficient lamp in pressure, I guess. And this one seemed to have to go 4, but don't worry about that so much just yet because that may be the dictating factor in the next piece. But we are gonna repeat that the same way again. So take your bolt, take your pretty thing with the pretty side up, stick that through the top of the blue guy that we just made all the craziness on. Take your square washer with your thumb, holding it in place. Get it started if you need. And then start screwing that bolt. Boom, boom. All right. And now we have both of those in place. Should look like that. Last piece. Now, if you look at the profile of this here, and then you look at the profile of this here, you might notice what I'm about to share. They go together. So the way that they go together is because you use common sense and you'd be like, oh yeah, of course they'd want to advertise right there. So their name goes to where you would read it. So whilst using El Contraptiono, you remember why you're here. Anyway, these slide in with the black guard facing inwards for each other. So we'll take the black guard, just as expected. I did something wrong again. See, I'm gonna show the directions here on the screen so you guys can see that I'm not crazy. That's where we went wrong. You guys led me astray. Why'd you do that? Okay, take 4, 2, really 2. I'm just being wild with my own brain, so dang. Same thing, you're gonna hold that washer underneath. Now we are gonna slide it on here. Okay, so we're gonna slide it on there first, and now you should have one-handed mode again. You're just gonna put your washer on there, hold it in place, and insert your bolt with your gray guy pretty side up. And now that channel, once you get it snug enough, it should hold that in place. You're one-handed again. So remember when I said this only took 2 turns, this took 4, and I might have been wrong? That's what I'm talking about. I was wrong. So we're just gonna take that out a little bit. We're gonna turn our guy over, do our last side here. Stick it in the channel. No, channel comes last on this one, sorry. And glide this bad boy in here. And just caught the washer with my pinky because, you know, awesomeness. And then I dropped the screw. It's not consistent with my claim of awesomeness, but that's fine too. All right, Now you'll have a letter like N, I guess, or like a U. And then what you do, you know what I like automatically is from the old one, they used to have like a clamping flap that goes there. And as soon as you unlock it, the whole thing falls apart. Everything just comes apart. And so if you don't notice it, like if you don't notice it for one, like you don't know how to fix it. And you're like, oh, okay, my thing just frickin' fell apart. And then again, with the grooves, you just slide it into the obvious part where the big hole is, you put the big thing. Doesn't matter which side you slide it on. Just make sure it's not locked when you do it. And not locked means facing this way. Locked, minimalistic. Whatever way would be the most minimalistic is the way that it's intended to be when it's in use. And that goes for most items. Okay, now, I thought I hated that. I don't hate that. Do I hate this? I don't hate that either. I hate this. I also don't hate that. What about this? Okay, those do get a little annoying, but I'm getting used to them. So I think that it's my fault. So a little bit easier here. But yeah, I think overall this thing, I know I'm in vertical mode, so it's hard to show it off. But that's the size of it, probably about a torso and a head high. And actually, can I tell you? I could tell you right here. You get 24 inches worth of working space, and then as much as your circular saw shoe will allow, meaning that your circular saw is inside of here, right? So you can't go over this distance right here, which is probably 1.25 inches. So if we were to unlock, because we can see it's not locked, slide it all the way up. My gosh, Kreg did it. Am I able to lock it? Oh gosh, Kreg did it. You can now go all the way down to Nanada on this thing right here. My gosh, before you could only go down to a certain amount. And if I recall, mine had it like a stopper in it even. But this is awesome because I'm allowed to surpass the fence line here. And the other one I wasn't, like you could just take that off. And that's huge. But other than that, yeah, I think that I'm gonna get a lot of work out of this. I'm building a house right now, and there's just it's not that most of us aren't skilled to cut a straight line, but there is some people that are just learning, and I know that they should learn by probably just doing it, but part of me is like, hey, let's get some of these lines straight because we're having a difficult time getting on track today. So that's how we're gonna do that. And also this helps me because I'm about to build a computer desk. You might have saw it once, but behind me, it's just atrocities. This was an old Cricut thing that I made up and make vinyl cutting. You can pull that out so it can have some access there and shove it back in. I thought that was kind of neat. Have perfect storage for the Easy Press 2 and a printer, and underneath the storage for all the vinyls. That tabletop, you know, when I built it, it told myself, you know, it'll always be clean. That way I don't have to worry about nothing being in there. And it was not that, so that sucked. But, oh yeah, and then this piece just slides right onto the blue here. Just lets you know where your zero marker is, and you can hear that ratcheting effect here, and that just lets you get that fine-tuned zero marker compared to where your blade is. So dudes over there making calls to you, need, you know, we need a piece that's 42 inches wide. This isn't 42 inches, this is 24. So what do? You do the 42 marker. You could do two things. You do the 42 marker with the tape, make your line, or you -6. And what's cool about this, and I know what you're thinking, just give me a second. What's cool about this is you can do it to where you take off your kerf blade. So you'll do a test cut if you would like on the 6 and say like, okay, now I know my blade is there, or I know when it's on 6, I need to move it 1/8 inch over. So what I do is do it there. So I know my true 6 is always the 1/8 inch, so I could trust it that way. It may not make a lot of sense, but this is a huge time saver, and it allows for adjustments between different saws. Yeah, I see nothing bad on that. New rubber gripping, a lot of markings just for center lines, which is helpful, but unneeded a little bit. Though I guess the only thing that I wish was better was these, I wish it wasn't 3D printed parts and stuff like that. You know, I wish they had some metal on there. But yeah, like I said, as long as you don't give this to the wrong person, they are gonna treat it just fine. I usually just leave it right on there. When I do take it off, I'll probably just take this off and use a circular saw with it on there, and I'll have a dedicated circular saw for it now. But people setting it down and throwing it around like that, that can't happen, because like I said, it'll break, or this will get out of whack here, and then once that's not a 90-degree angle anymore, that's trash, man. And again, not metal. So really, you're living off of the self-tapping screws that you put in these two little tabs that come inside of the blue piece right here that you can see protruding on the corners, right there and right there. So with some care, one of the best tools I've ever owned, and it's definitely going to make me more efficient and effective and consistent and all those fun words. But woodworkers like to say, thank you, Kreg. I appreciate this.